Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to the Monday Night Raw review for September 9th, 2016. Now, this show opened up with the championship celebration of Kevin Owens. Mick and Steph were in the ring and they invited him out. Mick tries to shake Kevin Owens' hand, but he just walked right past him. Owens says that he does deserve this, referring to the crowd that was chanting, "You deserve this." He says that he doesn't deserve a crowd trying to hijack his moment like they did last week when he won, and they're doing right now. He says he knew he was going to win. He had done 98% of the work before Triple H came out and handed him the victory. And he announces that Raw will be the Kevin Owens show. Seth comes out, and Kevin Owens doesn't like that, and Seth said, "I'm not out here for you," and starts yelling at Stephanie for getting screwed over. And Owens says, "This is all about me," and Seth then says that Owens has been Triple H's chosen one since the day he showed up in NXT. He has been holding his hand through everything, and that if that's the way this is going to go, that Seth is going to burn down everything that they build for Kevin Owens. Owens says that the architect has only been designing blueprints for failure ever since he returned from his injury. Seth attacks Owens. Stephanie suspends Seth. Mick tells her no, and announces that Seth will face Kevin Owens at Clash of Champions. And backstage, Kevin Owens got pissed off, and he confronted Mick Foley about it. And he said, "Well, how about this? You fight Sami Zayn." And then Chris Jericho came up and said, "How are you going to treat the longest reigning Universal Champion in the history of the WWE like this?" He's like, and then he called Mick a stupid idiot. And Mick's like, "Well, this stupid idiot is putting you in a match as well against Seth Rollins." So the main event was Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, and another match during the show was Seth Rollins versus Chris Jericho. Bayley versus Charlotte. Dana was asked to take notes during this match. It was a really good match. Bayley tweaked her knee trying to do the drop kick where she jumps under the bottom rope from the outside. She tweaked her knee, barely got through the ring post. Bayley kicked Charlotte into Dana, and when Charlotte hit Dana, she punched her in the face. And Charlotte then turned into a Bayley to belly for the win. And backstage, Dana says, "I'm sorry, I'll try better next time." She's like, "Here's what you are. You're sorry," and slaps her. Bo Dallas versus some guy. He gets a squash match in under a minute. Bo won very quickly. Now, I was confused. I was like, are they pushing Bo Dallas? I mean, I'm okay with it. I kind of like Bo Dallas. But apparently, when WWE goes to China, Bo Dallas is fighting Bin Wang. I think that's his name. The newest member of the not newest member, but a new member of the WWE. I think he's going to start out in NXT eventually. But when they go over to China, Bo Dallas is fighting him. And they wanted Bo to look strong for the Chinese audience that don't know who Bo is. So they gave him a squash match, I guess. Chris Jericho versus Seth Rollins. The match took place mainly on the outside of the ring. It was a really, really good match with lots of false finishes, but Chris Jericho got pedigreed for the win. Seth Rollins picked that one up. He's technically a face, by the way. He dropped a very face promo at the beginning. But the thing is, he's not a face, and he's not. He's like a tweener because he's a face when it comes to him versus Kevin Owens, but he's still a heel in the sense that he doesn't care what anybody thinks. He doesn't care what the crowd thinks. At least today, he's still that way. He still doesn't care what the crowd thinks. But, yeah. Cesaro versus Sheamus. Fuck. I don't really care. Sheamus won with a Brooke kick. Sheamus is up 3-0. They're going to give Cesaro the greatest comeback since June 9th, I think. I think it was June 9th. Whenever Money in the Bank was. The day Money in the Bank, the greatest comeback in all of sports history happened. And they're going to give Cesaro a better one, technically. They're going to give Cesaro the best comeback of the year and take away everything that the Cavs earned. Anyway, at least that's what I'm going with. Cesaro is down 3-0. He's going to win the rest of the matches. Shining Stars versus Enzo and Cass. Epico rolls up Enzo off a distraction for the win. Nia Jax versus some girl. Nia won, obviously. And then backstage, that girl happened to be Alicia Fox's friend, apparently. And Alicia Fox got in the face of Nia Jax. So right there, we have a feud. Nia Jax versus Alicia Fox. Hopefully it doesn't suck. Like this next segment did. This next segment was shit. The club came out to talk about how they're going to retire the New Day eventually after Clash of Champions when they beat them. They bring out the Old Day. The crowd didn't give a shit. Not one bit. The real New Day come out to save the day. As soon as the New Day's music played, the crowd popped. Old Big E hit the current Big E with a cane, and the New Day attacked the Old Day. And then the segment was over. It was really, really stupid. Darren Young versus Jinder Mahal with Titus on commentary. During the match, Titus left the commentary table, walked down to the ring. Darren Young got the win, and then attacked Titus O'Neil because Titus was going to attack Bob Backlund. Okay, we still have this stupid feud. I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't care. Braun Strowman versus Sin Cara. The reason he fought Sin Cara and not some local talent is because last week when he fought Americo, I think that's what his name was, Americo, he demasked the luchador, and Sin Cara was not taking that shit easily. Braun won by count out. Sasha comes out with some bad news. She's a fucking troll. She deserves an Oscar. She's like, give her 20 Oscars for this performance here. She came out. The first thing she said was, every book has its final chapter. And everybody's like, are you fucking kidding me? Is she about to have to walk away from wrestling too? Like, Daniel Bryan wasn't that long ago. And they're Sasha's now too. Really? We're losing two of the best in the same year? And she talks about all of, like, how she literally came from nothing, and now she's one of the best women wrestlers in the WWE. And then she says she has an update on her injury. And as soon as she says that, Dana Brooke comes out and says that the only champion that the WWE Universe deserves is Charlotte. And Dana says she's going to finally finish Sasha off right here, right now. Sasha puts Dana in the bank statement. Dana taps. She puts her out of the bank statement. Sasha says, I have bad news. But the bad news was for Charlotte. And the bad news is, at Clash of Champions, I'm taking my title back. Sasha Banks is back. We kind of knew this already because there was reports saying that it wasn't going to last over a month. But anything could happen. She trolled the fuck out of us. She trolled us hard. It would have sucked to see her go. It really would have. But she's back, and at Clash of Champions, she's got Charlotte. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. There's very few, well, there was a few false finishes. Very, very good match, just like they always are. Zayn rolled his ankle again, unfortunately, and then pop-up powerbomb for the win. Roman Reigns comes out while Kevin Owens is celebrating, and they stare down. Chris Jericho comes out, and as soon as he gets in the ring, Mick Foley comes out and announces that next week on Raw. Now, nothing happened. Roman didn't fight Kevin. Nobody attacked anybody. They just came down and stared. And that stare was enough for Mick to announce that Roman will face Kevin Owens next week on Raw. And if Roman wins at Clash of Champions, it will be Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns in a triple threat match for the Universal title. Jericho then tried to attack Roman Reigns and got speared. So that was the whole show. The show sucked for the most part. Besides, we got Sasha's trolling. We got Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. Bayley versus Charlotte. Bo Dallas strong as shit. And Chris Jericho. So pretty much the beginning and the end. Everything in between was shit. And I saw about 9 promos for Backlash. Backlash is Sunday, and they promoted it at least 10 times. At least. Just the ones I noticed. I only noticed like 9 of them. But you're trying to feud with the brands, but you're advertising a pay-per-view for the weekend. Who cares? You're Raw. You're not supposed to care about SmackDown. Anyway, there's nothing I can say that's going to stop them from doing that. But tomorrow we got SmackDown, the final SmackDown before Backlash this Sunday. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Camp Council Cody, and I'll see you guys next time. Toodles.